It is Friday morning. Geraldo always joins us in the 8 o'clock hour. Geraldo,
hi, Stevie.
We want your comments about the Montana Republican congressional candidate, Greg Gianforte, who it was revealed yesterday body-slammed a reporter. And then last night, to the shock of many, he wound up winning the election.
Well, the victory was not unexpected in the sense that it is a heavily red district there in Montana. Also, the people of Montana, and you know, I've had my share of physical altercations. They are no strangers to the more robust way of living. You know, the incident itself, I think, was gigantically overblown. It just seems to me that, first of all, if someone pushes me, I push them back. I don't hold a press conference.
Right.
And there was an excessive amount of whining and, oh, woe is me. I saw Morning Joe, and I said, well,
thanks.
what the, no, I was looking at a clip because I had the 3 monitors on. I saw him going off on this thing. And I said, would this guy get kicked? Did he get, you know, pistol whipped? Did they gang? No,
he broke his glasses.
Oh, they broke his glasses. Big deal. This is like my 6th pair of glasses this year. You know, it just happens. Stuff happens. Get over it. Whining and to extrapolate from that incident where the fed-up politician who's been hounded by the reporters finally goes back and gives a shove here or there, to extrapolate that what that means is that Donald Trump is leading us down the road to physical confrontation and dividing the nation in this with brute force, I think is preposterous. And moreover, it is symbolic of exactly the way the big media treats the 45th president of the United States.
Terribly.
It is absolutely so wimpatorium. It really is. To borrow from Bodyslammed.
I think we've got a soundbite that shows you the mainstream media reaction to this, where essentially they connect this to the President of the United States.
We saw that already.
We did see it earlier, but it's exactly what you were talking about. What causes him to do that?
What causes the mainstream media to... Because they are so down on this president, he can do no right. Everything he does, like he lectured just now the NATO leaders there in the summit. He said pay up. I heard other commentators on other networks suggesting how painful the scene was that our president deigned to lecture other heads of state about the fact that they are paying less than the promised 2% of their GDP to defense. To me, I saw it. Thank goodness someone is speaking out that they should pay their fair share, that the United States spends more than all these other countries combined for our common defense. If it is a common defense, why isn't it a common burden that everybody pays their fair share? I just think that it has gotten to the point where it's really toxic. You're not even into this deep into the second 100 days yet. This man has a giant bullseye on his back, President Trump, and they are out to get him. Any misstep, and they'll try.
It's going to boomerang because they're overdoing it.
It boomeranged in Montana.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about another area of your expertise is terror. Unfortunately, we got to tap into that again. What happened in Manchester, this doesn't seem to be a guy angry breaking up with his girlfriend. It turns out he's a terrorist hiding in plain sight, going from Syria to Libya and back again. His neighbors should have reported him. There was no security at the place. There's so much wrong. You would think it's 2000, not 2017.
In Manchester, I said I was on the air with Sean Hannity the night this dreadful attack happened, and it became clear that this was an attack on the most vulnerable members of our society. Little girls were torn to shreds by a shrapnel bomb loaded with nails and ball bearings.
Don't forget the 7 parents that were killed.
Parents as well. And I said that Manchester, parts of Manchester, were hotbeds of Islamist terrorism, and I was criticized for that. Let me tell you, 16 people have been caught or killed that emanated from Manchester. There are 400 citizens of the United Kingdom that have gone abroad to Syria and or Iraq to receive ISIS training and come back to the United Kingdom just like this alleged perp. There is a cancer in the society of the United Kingdom that has to be rooted out before it metastasizes. Moss Side, M-O-S-S Side, is a neighborhood in Manchester. Heavily Libyan, following the downfall of Gaddafi and the disruption in North Africa from the 90s on. There's no policing, back to your point, Brian. Self-policing. This guy's walking around looking like, you know, the mad sheik in his robe.
Good thing is garbage, looking in all black robes.
I mean, at some point you say to yourself, all right, this is a town, Manchester. I don't know it that well, but I've been there several times. It's a town where many of these neighborhoods used to be into gangs and guns, you know, traditional kind of criminality. They are morphing and have been with the very diabolically effective ISIS digital propaganda campaign, morphing from gangbangers into jihadists. Far more dangerous. Why? A gangbanger may rip you off to get money to buy dope, or may perpetrate some criminal act for some logical criminal reason. A jihadist, on the other hand, does things like slaughter little girls.
For the next life.
For the next life, or whatever it is. I think that it's really, you know, on the one hand, I understand how it fuels Brexit. On the other hand, I caution, like so many of the others, this is a British-born kid who has a culture, he has a cultural trail, there's no doubt about it, but he's British-born, this is a British domestic problem, and they've got to deal with it, they've got to deal with it.
They let him in, and this is how he repays them. Let's talk about something else, though. Let's talk about the leakers, because President Trump says they will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
And the leakers that leaked the picture of the bomb and the crime scene out early to the New York Times, they caused friction between nations.
You know, I think about leaking. I have a picture of my friend at his desk in the Oval Office with his shiny shoes. This President Trump is trying to do his job in the Oval Office, and he's got rats scurrying over his shine shoes. You know, rats, rats, rats. That office is infiltrated with rats. The CIA, from the first day when they were angry at him because of the post-inaugural address at CIA headquarters, and the FBI and the NSA, just they leak everything they have. They use it as a currency. They are seduced by reporters on expense accounts. They think they know better than whoever's in the Oval Office what's good for the country.
They're seduced by the reporters? A lot of these guys want to take down the president.
I think that adds fuel to it. Not only the traditional, you're absolutely right, Steve, not only is it the traditional, I want to pay the guy at the Washington Post back, or the guy at the New York Times, I want to be friendly with the guy at this publication or that. It is also an ideological mission. It is a mission now to take down this man. And I just think that it is so
It's hurting
unfair.
the country.
It's certainly hurting the president.
Sure, and it looks like he's going to open up a war room starting next week. All right, Geraldo, thank you very much for joining us.
Remember who was the biggest prosecutor of leakers? Was Barack Obama. He prosecuted more leakers than any president in history. So this is Trump is doing what Obama did. If you didn't hate it when Obama did it, don't hate it now.
Stay tuned.
Trying to find out what he was doing with the NSA, too.
Right.